We have a new loophole in order to avoid paying the ULEZ tax. Yes, many people in London are getting ready to resist the ULEZ expansion, and even local authorities and local councils are ready to resist. In this video, we're going to explain how. Hello to you all beautiful freedom fighters, welcome back to the channel. Let's talk about Sad IQ Khan and his ULEZ expansion, because we are getting ready. We only have a few days left for this expansion to be implemented, unfortunately, but there are people who are resisting. I mean, even right now they're removing the cameras. Not that I'm advocating for that, but well done, guys. But criminal activity. But also, at the same time, local councils, with the help of the local communities, have found a new way in order to avoid the ULEZ expansion. Guess how they're doing this? It is so simple when you think about it, but nobody thought about it before. We've got the motoring lawyer, Nick Freeman, who's actually come out to explain how. By not putting up the signs. So simple. So according to law and the regulations that we have, if you get fined, for example, ULEZ or congestion charge or anything like that, there has to be enough warning in the area at any point. That means if you're driving through a road or some sort of area, there has to be enough, there has to be a sign that says you are now entering ULEZ zone, ULEZ, and you will get fined. And if those signs don't exist, then you can actually appeal and you can get your money back. And there are now local councils in the areas of ULEZ expansion who are resisting. It's absolutely beautiful. So we've got Nick Freeman saying, any road traffic regulations that are introduced, there must be clear, unambiguous signage. And in the absence of clear, unambiguous signage, no penalty can be enforced. The prosecutors would, I'm quite confident, win on any appeal. He also said this happens in speeding cases. You get it in bus lane cases. There are a whole host of cases where the signage isn't clear, and then when somebody wants to challenge it, they invariably win because the signage doesn't fit the bill. So quite simple, straightforward. And now we have the local councils who are quite aware of the situation. So to protest the expansion, 6 out of the 7 councils that are in these areas, so Surrey, Kent, Essex, Hertfordshire, Buckinghamshire and Thurrock, are refusing to put up these signs. In response, Mr. Khan has called on these councils to fulfill their duty of ensuring motorists have the necessary information to avoid accidental ULEZ entry. That sounds like a euphemism. But we have Matt Furness, who's a cabinet member for transport at Surrey County Council, expressing concerns that constituents would be caught out and urged the mayor to look at creating a buffer zone. That's also quite interesting. He actually said to the Telegraph, we said if they want to install advanced signage, they have to do it on their own land, and therefore they'll have to shrink the size of the ULEZ in order to give people the option to turn around. They're choosing not to do that. It will be interesting. It will be an interesting test case when someone actually tries to challenge for the first time the fact that there was no advanced signage. We've also had, we talked about on the channel quite recently, we've seen some pictures in some certain areas in Greater London where it's literally a quiet residential area, very suburban. There's literally like no traffic, no air pollution or anything. And there are houses there, and there are cars parked outside the houses, big houses. And so it's not like flats or apartments. But then literally there's the ULEZ expansion also applies to that area. So the moment you leave your house, the moment you get in your car, even if you want to quickly turn around and just leave London and go somewhere else, you still have to pay. It's mind-boggling. It's completely chaotic, the situation. Now, Edmund King, who's the president of the Automobile Association, said if TfL does not send out warnings, they will be deluged with complaints from drivers. If they turn down appeals to have fines cancelled, huge numbers will take their complaints to the Traffic Penalties Tribunal. So this is where we are now, ladies and gentlemen. So if you are living in those 6 out of 7 local councils, then continue to push your local councillors to avoid putting up their signs, to avoid giving permission to TfL and City Council office to put up their signs. If you are living in the other council that is basically just obeying with the City Council office, then again, start writing to your local councillors, start pushing the campaigns, because that's the only power that we have left, putting pressure on elected politicians, because they're all so scared of losing their seats. So if the politicians are fearful of the public, it's called democracy. When people are afraid of their politicians, that is tyranny. Now, thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I'm Mahyar Tousi, and we are the media.